What's up, everyone? On this podcast, we're going to talk everything VIP. We're going to talk about our last event. We're going to talk about the next event, the fighters, what's going to take place May 25th at Memorial Arena. And remember, guys, tickets go on sale April 1st. We hope you enjoy this episode, and thanks for tuning in. Rock and roll. All right, guys, here we are. Okanagan Fight Night 2, Podcast 1. Couldn't be more excited about what we have going on. Guys, you notice Sam versus Max, massive main event, 3-round title fight. Man, am I excited for this fight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Finally, we are here, super close to the big event, our second event. How are you feeling, Adolfo?
Super excited, waiting for this for a long time, and now May 25th is the day, and I can wait. And then we have amazing fights, guys, coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about it.
So many details, so many surprises that we have for you, and we've been cooking, right, behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is something we've been planning for a long time, It kind of feels like VIP to most people is new, but it's something that me and Adolfo have been working on for years. We've been talking about it for years.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah,
how you guys met. I'm super curious, to know how do you guys met, where you're from, Jordan, where you're from, Adolfo, tell us. I think that the people could be very interested in that part.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I started Pacific Top Team in Kelowna as a blue belt, just about turning a purple belt, so a long time ago. And I was just looking to build a brand new school in Kelowna, and I heard about this Muay Thai guy, this really tough Muay Thai guy that was teaching in Lake Country. And I was new in business. I was kind of like ignorance on fire, just trying to build something special in Pacific Top Team. And so I drove out to I remember the day still. I drove out to where he was working in Winfield, met him, set a meeting, started talking about the vision of what I had for martial arts in the Okanagan, what I was planning.
Did you already have your gym at that time?
Yeah. So but barely. We just started. We weren't open very long. Maybe a year. I think maybe a year and a half.
So which year was that?
Man, I think it was 2009, maybe 2010, somewhere around then, kind of end of 2009.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
So at that point we might have had. I remember we were at our Commercial Drive location, so we were way out in the sticks, kind of in comparison to where Kelowna was at that time, where the population of Kelowna was kind of downtown and everything, and so. We had a very small, I think we had maybe 30 students. I had 30 students, maybe 35 students, 40 students, somewhere in there. But I wanted to add to the program. I was like, man, let's get something striking in some sort of striking, boxing, Muay Thai, And then when I heard Adolfo was out at, I think it was called Black Belts in.
That's right.
Yeah, it was called Black Belts. And so I just shot my shot. Went out there, talked, introduced myself, told him what I was doing, what I was planning. We kind of had a discussion of what it would take to maybe teach a couple classes at our facility. And then, after that, he just, kind of saw the vision of what I was trying to build, what I was trying to come up with, and decided to partner. And from then, that was back in 2009, 2010. Now we've built 3 locations, Kelowna, West Kelowna, Penticton. We're sitting on, lots of 1,000 students,
fantastic
things are just growing, just fantastic
yeah.
locations, and it was all kind of this partnership that kind of started that. Yeah. So really cool.
The first time that I went to your gym, I was so impressed about the atmosphere, kids, all ages, even those more expert athletes there. When I was filming them, I was so inspired watching you guys, watching them. So it's a super honored being part of this great event.
It's so crazy. It wasn't always like that. I remember when we first started, we come from super humble beginnings. I lived in the gym, upstairs. You know, we were building the upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
We had 1-inch puzzle mats on concrete. We were doing big throws. Everybody was like, injuries were like weekly.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like it was like, yeah, it was just, it was a totally different time.
Remember somebody make a hole in the driveway and the drywall in the second floor sparring? Yeah, it was the jiu-jitsu was downstairs, the Muay Thai was upstairs.
We had Muay Thai upstairs, and then we had a couple bedrooms that a couple of us instructors just lived there.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was pretty crazy. So that was kind of like, you know, the first experience. And you know, one of the things that happened while we started to build our relationship was Adolfo, you know, I always knew there were lots of jiu-jitsu tournaments. There were tournaments for jiu-jitsu on the coast, in LA. There were lots of opportunities for jiu-jitsu athletes to compete and to huge community of competition and lots of, you know, resources for that. But there was nothing for Muay Thai. It was all MMA, you know, MMA driven or jiu-jitsu, but nothing Muay Thai. And what, you know, Adolfo's vision, because he used to do this, and he can talk a bit about this in a second, but he used to run events in Mexico. And they were massive events, and it was all Muay Thai, and his vision was to start something like this. And I remember I was just, for the longest time, I just kept putting it on the back burner, like, no, let's just focus on this, let's focus on this. And then finally we decided to do it, and
before the COVID, remember? And about time was the last time we talked about it.
We talked about it before COVID, and then COVID hit. And then we put it on a shelf one last time. But after COVID, it was like, man, let's do this, because the student base started growing. I think one of the reasons we really decided the time was right now was because the student base at Pacific Top Team for Muay Thai was like catching jiu-jitsu. Like it was like equals on par with jiu-jitsu, but they didn't have an outlet. So what we were finding is like, you know, Muay Thai's hard, jiu-jitsu's hard. If you have no if you can't set a goal, like to compete, to do something that you can set a goal towards to achieve, then what we found is the retention, it was hard to keep the retention where it needs to be. And what we're finding with this is now more people are like getting involved and wanting to fight and set the goals to fight.
Yeah, and then one of the reasons too, like, took us so long because, not a lot of people know, but was not allowed to do Muay Thai in BC, right? Like, was only kickboxing because, like you guys know, Muay Thai, we use our elbows, knees, and then a lot of people can think it's a little extreme, right? But like now we have BC Muay Thai, they sanction these events, right? And now we can do these type of events. And I think now just the fighting community is going to grow so much, and it's just good for the athletes, right? And that's what we are mostly doing at the
And also a lot of more understanding of martial arts. Like there's so many culture, like now that you're saying about Muay Thai, like my first impression is like there is so many respect, there is so many culture, there is so many things behind, and it's not just a sport. It is a sport. It is an extreme, very intense sport, but there is also like the culture, the habits, the preparation that an athlete needs to have. So like great things takes time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's something like I love that we're kind of turning, you know, we're starting to talk now about respect and discipline and all that stuff, because that's kind of our vision for VIP. It's kind of like what our mission, right? Our mission for VIP is like, you know, we had a fighters meeting at our last event, and that was one of the things I stressed in the fighters meeting, and that resonated with a lot of the fighters, is like, I don't want to be an MMA event. I'm not looking to be an MMA event. I don't want to have like a very disrespectful kind of, you know, feel to our event. I want it to be one of the pillars of our event is respect, right? It's a discipline. It's like we want to take the part of martial arts that is respect and put it into our event, you know, and that was really important to us when we started.
And what a better way to do it that with a live event, but with a massive cover media. Like I see that people are receiving this content wonderful. Like they are learning more about the martial arts. They are learning more about what is behind the discipline that it takes, and it's just not like what other sports are doing, right? So that's the feeling that I got on the Okanagan Fight Night 1. Like watching them, like I learned a lot about the
The martial
clothes?
art,
How do you say, like, the clothes? Because like jiu-jitsu, they wear some clothing.
Oh, clothing, yeah, you're saying with the
also-
pre-aughts
yeah,
and the-
Muay Thai,
Yeah.
they wear a lot of clothing.
Yeah.
So
Describe that to us.
Yeah.
I've always wondered too. Like, I don't even think I've ever asked this, but like, go into it a little bit, Adolfo, with Muay Thai. Like, what's the purpose of the pre-aught? Like, they wear that headgear. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's
Mongol,
called. But
the Mongol,
Yeah,
yeah.
tell us a bit about that.
The Prajit is believe there is a good luck, and then normally in Thailand what they do before the fight, the coach or the mom or whatever, they put a spell for winning, right? And then they put it in the Prajit and they have it on them and they fight with the Prajits, right? And the Mongol, everything, even the dance is they honor the coach, the teach you the art, right? When they do the white crew, before we don't did it in our last event because the problem we have so many fights, but in Thailand they do it every single fight. Before the fight they do the white crew, and what they're doing with the white crew are honor the coach, the teacher, and at the same time are warming the body. They are they are warming up, and every white crew is from different camps. Every camp have a different white crew, and in Thailand, even just watching the white crew, they can tell from what gym you are from, right?
Oh wow!
And you guys are bringing that to the Okanagan, like all that culture, all that rituals, like part of the martial arts. Like people from the Okanagan are learning. Like we are going to the event and we are seeing all those things. That's why it's so important to have events like this here. We will learn a lot from that. I remember all the crew from Max Gym. I remember some other wearing those ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna put those images for people to reference them.
Absolutely.
But that was amazing. What an amazing night, right?
Yeah,
Jordan?
so good. So good. And that's kind of part of our goal, right? We want to with making it about respect and respecting each other. You can compete against each other and respect each other. There's no need for all, it's my belief, there's no need for all the hype and the nonsense of all the stuff that happens in the pre-fight.
Yeah.
It's you guys are going to go in there and showcase your martial art.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And so that was hugely important to us. We said it in the fighters meeting, guys. If you are representing our brand, and MMA, has a bit of a stigma in this area. Right? The last fight card was, back when Rory McDonald was here, it was MMA, it was very new. There was a lot of different things that were coming with that. And so, we've really found that, trying to reach out to new sponsors and new, businesses that, hey, this is what we're doing. Instantly they think MMA.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want families, guys. Like our goal for this event is we want this place filled with kids. We want kids, families, grandmas coming to support our local athletes. And in turn, that'll bring, the right people into our organization. That is the goal, 100%.
Yeah, like I always tell my students and my fighters, fighting is a small part, right? But the martial art, the discipline, the respect, that's what we want, right? And that's what we wanna showcase. That, like, the people understand when people come to our events, they feel safe. They feel like the sport, right? And we wanna invite everybody. They come and see what is this about, because we are working to do better things that we did in our last event, right? Our first event here in Canada, and then we are super excited for the new things. And I think like that thing that you say about the families, that's really important, because those are the future martial artists, right? That's what we want. We want the kids see and they say, I want to do that one day, right?
I want to be like Sam and Max.
Exactly.
I want to do Muay Thai.
Exactly.
Look at how these guys are representing themselves.
And
in the
not
ring.
only that, we saw Juan, in the end of the fight, the many fights that they went back and forth, and the fight was so close. And what they did in the end, before they raised their hands, they both went to the ground and they showing respect to their opponent.
Yeah,
and people, with people that never been in these type of events, that's the first that I hear from people. They say, "Man, that was awesome!" Like, they beat each other, but in the end, they are like about the respect, and that's what we want in our events,
That's
right?
what
100%.
great sport do. Like that friendship that the athletes are showing in the event is great. And what a
It's like playing between the whistles, right? You always hear that in like football and stuff. It's like,
Yes.
when the game's on,
Right.
it's like, we're not friends. I'm not friends with you. I'm not trying to be friends with you. But after the game is over, we can high five. We can show respect to each other. And and even before the game, right? It's like, so many times you see before the game, there's all this chirping and back and forth. It's like, man, let's save that for different events. This is not what we're going to be about.
No.
And like I said, that with all that being said, it's like we look back on our last event, right? Like, let's look at the last event. Like, what went well? I talk about this. It's like, man, we didn't know what we were doing. Like, Adolfo had some experience for sure because he had built in Mexico, but it's a different animal in Canada, dealing with different, the sanctioning body, and then you're dealing with the local city, representatives, And it was just it was a crazy.
And always the first
crazy
event,
time.
right? Like in everything you do, like you have to just find the way. And but yeah, now is the time, and now I know that every event, like we're going to do better.
We can't wait.
Jordan put crazy jiu-jitsu tournaments. Like how many participates in the last event?
Yeah, that's that. We do the BC Absolute as well together, and we had 500 registrants
That's
in the last
crazy,
event in our small
that's
gym.
Just competition.
That's
like,
amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was that was a big one for sure.
Yeah.
What about the great opportunity for athletes to showcase their work? Like, it is a super huge opportunity that little kids are being able to be involved on these events, right? What are the benefits of that?
So this is kind of like going back to our mission statement. What we're trying to accomplish is like, I have friends that have schools out in California, and there's fights every time. Every weekend there's fights, there's tournaments. It's like, it's easy for an American martial artist it's easier. I wouldn't say it's easy, but there's a lot more avenues for martial artists down there to really build a brand and a reputation. Up in Canada, there's literally nothing. Like, we got tough guys in Canada, man. Like, people that don't. Harrison Woods. I'm going to shout out Harrison. This kid. This kid should be all over Flow Grappling, and he should be talked about all over the place. Nobody's mentioning this kid's name. He's beating the highest level competition, but because he's from Canada in a smaller gym or whatever the case may be, his face isn't being recognized, and that's what we're trying to change. We have unbelievable martial artists in Canada in all disciplines, and our goal is to start to bring exposure with the live stream. We're going to be live streaming this event with Valiente. We're going to be, we are putting a ton of effort into showcasing the athletes. When you guys start to see the videos that we have planned for you guys coming out, I mean, we are putting our money where our mouth is. And this is what's going to help bring athletes to our event. Athletes are going to want to be in our event because we're investing in the athletes.
Yeah.
That's who we're investing in. We're putting them at the front, showcasing them and their abilities through VIP, through the competition platform that we have planned for them. So.
And then something really interesting, Juan, that we want to mention that nobody's doing. Like, we've been competing all over BC, right? And athletes have to, most of the time, pay for travel, gas, food, medicals. Medicals expires once a year. And then me and Jordan, we are talking how we can make it better for the athletes, right? And we going to pay for the medicals. They just have to bring the receipt for their medicals and try to help the fighters that come from out of town with a little money for food, right? Like, we wanna, like Jordan say, exactly that, invest in the future athletes, right? and we want to do this for the athletes. It's funny, in Mexico, when I came here in 2006, I came from in my hometown in Puerto Vallarta. They used to do at least one event a month. Or me, I do every 2-3 months, but was like literally one event a month. And here, since I've been in here, that's why I was like, this is what I want to do, right? And then and now like that's what we are creating, and super excited the start with this, and I know it's going to be awesome for the sport.
Yeah, well, and on top of investing in the fighters, it's like, guys, when you see what we are doing, like the last event compared to this event is, you wouldn't even recognize. You wouldn't think that they were from the same company. The amount that we're putting into this, guys, on the night of the event, guys, when you show up, what you're gonna see there, brand new ring. We just bought a brand new ring, fully kitted out. You know, I mean, what we're doing in the back end of this to make it such a special organization is endless. So
yeah, and definitely it's a huge difference. It makes a big impact on the athletes, on the coaches, on all the community around it, and also like all the city. Like bringing or creating these events like opens the door for a lot of opportunities, right? And even the Pentington compared to the Okanagan one, the Kelowna one, like how many people like will be there?
Yeah, so we did 850 through the door at the last event. We made a few mistakes. You know, we obviously put it on a long weekend. We had it a little later in the night, which then of course couldn't attract more kids and families from Kelowna area, because by the time they would get home, it'd be like 10 o'clock. Yeah. So we're learning, right? We're growing this thing. We're learning. This event, we have 2,000 seats, so we're going to be over double. We're going to start the event much earlier. So the event's going to start much earlier so that, families can come and still get out of there at a reasonable time. Yeah. And so we're just continuing to, build event to event and make it better and better.
Oh yeah, it's all about that, and also like the future is like so bright for VIP and Okanagan Fight Night. Like I can totally see all the opportunities like for this event.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The kids card. I mean, we haven't even talked about that. Like this is something that I don't think's ever been done. So in anywhere, right? Yeah. So our vision is, what I've seen in jiu-jitsu is there's like, I always joke, we have this little kid named Xavi. He's going to be fighting on the card. This kid is an animal, right?
A superstar.
Dude, he's already, his style, the way he looks, the way he fights and competes, the guy is an animal. And you know what's awesome is, like, I always joke with him. I said, man, if you were 250 pounds, I believe you'd submit me for sure. For sure, right?
When we are taking his pictures and all, he's all on it. Like, he has the attitude, he has the professionalism, he waits, he give me direction.
It's like, amazing, telling us what to do.
He gives me feedback as well.
And that's just one kid. I mean, man, we're bringing, there's a kid from Christian Simmerling's gym. I was kind of looking him up. I don't know a ton about him, but man, he's got some huge wins under his belt. We're bringing. So there's a student from NOS BJJ out in Vernon.
Tell us a little bit about Dora.
Oh, a little Dora, yeah. So we have a couple little girls that one trains in Kelowna, one trains in Penticton, and they're just amazing. They just love jiu-jitsu. They're all in on it. They're just these tiny little humans that just love jiu-jitsu. And so I was like, man, that should be our starting fight of the night. Let's put them on the very front end of the card.
Should we talk about a little bit of what we are planning for Monday? Maybe that we are, or
So that's what I was going to say with the kids card. So going back to, like, I don't think this has ever been done, but our whole goal, guys, is like, we're gonna do a 3-part to this event. We're gonna do a kids card, our undercard, and our main card. So if families want to just come and just watch the undercard, that's cool. You can do that, right? If you're somebody who isn't interested in watching the kids jiu-jitsu, you can just come for the undercard and the main card, right? And so we're doing a full kids card. So it's like a full kids. I think there's 8 or 9 fights. it's some of the best kids in the Okanagan, and we've missed a bunch of kids. I mean, we can't have them all, but we've got a list of kids that want to be on the event. We're going to continue to grow in our next event. We'll put more and more kids on the card, and this is just to showcase the level of martial arts, the level of jiu-jitsu that's happening at such a young age, right?
Oh yeah, like I cannot stop thinking about these generations in the future. Like what a great opportunity for these little kids to be exposed to this magnificent event, like the media, the venue, all the crowd. Like, what is the impact that you anticipate for this generation, like in the long future?
Yeah, well, that's the crazy thing. I mean, we're starting to see it now. We're starting to see it now. I know there's a young lady named Lily out that trains out in Vernon, right? She trains at NOS, I think, in Vernon, but she goes down and she trains with Andre out in Otto's Jiu-Jitsu, and she just won the pants, like at purple belt. Like it's crazy. One of my old students, Emrique, is heading down to AOJ for a Worlds camp. So you're starting to see, the growth of jiu-jitsu and expanding, and how it's really shaping up, in Canada. And we just want to make sure that we're giving the right avenues to the students here, because the future vision is they won't have to go down south and spend thousands of dollars to really put their name out there. We should be doing that right here at home for the people to enjoy as well, and grow martial arts in Canada.
Absolutely.
We don't want to go down there and grow, help them continue to grow martial arts in the US. They're already a juggernaut. We want to grow it up here, and so that's the goal.
Yeah, and then what we're doing with the athletes too, give them the opportunity, like literally with Valiente, with all the work that you put in and the videos and the promos and everything. We are investing a lot of money on that, because that's like what the fighters want to feel important, right? Like we are talking about the kid, he's like literally acting like the same day a UFC guy do, right? And that he's seeing on TV, and now he's like feeling that. When they go to the ring, like doesn't matter what age, like when with one of my students or Jordan's student jump in the ring, he's the star, right? That's he's the man, right? And then that's what was missing here, and I think this is going to take to another level to the martial arts.
So let's talk about the card a little bit, right?
100%.
So we've got our kids card starting off, right? And that's headlined by some crazy kids. We mentioned some of them. Kai from NOS. We've got Xavier, from Kelowna. We've got just so many kids that are going to put on an amazing show. But let's get to the undercard. One of the fights that for jiu-jitsu that I'm super excited about is Liam Mulhall versus Casey Wycott. Casey is a young up-and-coming, jiu-jitsu athlete. This kid's got a cool story, man. Like, I know him personally. He trains. He was training a little bit, at different gyms throughout the Okanagan, gaining some of his experience, but lives in Merritt. Mm-hmm. So on a nightly basis, his dad's driving him to gain experience and learn martial arts.
Wow,
right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
what a commitment.
Yeah, so for the last handful of years, that's been his life, just driving from Merritt to Kelowna.
Wow.
And finally made the decision, hey, there's nothing in Merritt. Let's build a school in Merritt. So at such a young age, I think he might be 16 or 17. I don't have his age up here, but just a young kid running his own school, not even a blue belt yet.
That's awesome.
And doing amazing. Has students.
How old is he?
I think he's 17. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe he'll comment on this.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
Yeah, comment on the video. But yeah, I mean, he's in his teens, man. He's in his teens, and he's running a school. He's leading adults. I mean, the kid's a superstar. And
committed,
so, yeah, it's really awesome to have him on the card. And Liam is a young guy that trains in Kelowna. Very talented blue belt, juvenile blue belt at our Kelowna location, and just super tough. So that match will be really good.
Exciting.
Followed by that, guys, this one is for me, because I'm just going to talk about the jiu-jitsu before I turn it over for the Muay Thai, but Ryden versus Caleb, what a fight. I mean, Caleb, I've been following Caleb's journey for a long time, since he started popping up and the things that he's doing. amazing wrestler, amazing wrestling, jiu-jitsu. He's doing amazing things in wrestling, jiu-jitsu. He does Muay Thai. He wants to fight. He's very disciplined. His jiu-jitsu is unbelievable. He trains over at Toshido MMA, over there with David Lee and Craig. And so just doing some amazing things. You know, he's an up-and-comer, orange belt, so he's not even into the adult belts yet, but just a really, really tough up-and-coming kid. And he's facing Ryden. You know, Ryden's over the last kind of year and a half, 2 years, has been competing all over the place and winning gold medals and a really tough competitor. And so this one's going to be, I'm really excited for this in the undercard. I think even though it's a juvenile match, a teens match is what they call juvenile in jiu-jitsu. Even though it's a juvenile match, not an adult match, this match is set to deliver. I know everyone in the Okanagan will talk about this match when it's done.
Oh yeah, and in social media there's already hype about it, right? Like
For
I
sure.
have seen like some comments, like people are expecting this fight.
A really good fight. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, and actually, I have the opportunity to train in COVID when there was no training. I did a few privates with Caleb and Trudeau, and he's so disciplined, and you teach him a technique, and he right away master it. Like it's going to be a good match, man. I'm super excited for that one too.
Really good.
Yeah.
And then kind of headlining. Those are a couple of the fights on the undercard, but headlining the undercard had a spectacular fight last time as Brian Sentinel, and he's fighting Colton King. So tell us a bit about that match. I mean, Brian's your student, really tough guy, trains at Pacific Top Team Kelowna. Tell us about Colton. Tell us about Brian.
Yeah, Brian is new in the game. Last year was his first fight. He's done some jiu-jitsu tournaments and he's doing really well. And really excited. This will be her third fight because he is fighting next month in the island.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we are going. I only have him in that event, but yeah, I'm super excited and he's good.
What's awesome about Brian, I was going to say, is that he had a massive following at the last event.
Oh yeah,
I think between him and Dustin Little,
the crowd
half the crowd was there for Brian.
He did a spectacular fight.
Spectacular fight,
Like,
amazing.
I remember
super entertaining.
Ezra and Brian. Like,
Yeah.
I was with the camera. I was like, holy fuck!
I know,
huge,
actually, we were super lucky because our last event, all the match was
amazing,
good matches, and that's what we want to have, right? We want to make it fair for both sides. We don't want to favor anybody. We want to be sure that everybody have a great experience and they want to do it again, right? It's no point they have one guy in a different level, right? That's my time trying to find the good matches for everybody and
fair, even matches,
fair matches, man.
And the athletes that are taking this seriously, like Brian is all
he's all in.
It's all in.
Yeah.
Like I was talking with him to do his pictures, and he was chatting with me. Like he's training, he's putting a lot of time with you. Like that's exciting, and people appreciate that. Like the fans, the crowd, people notice it. Like from the athletes that are putting the work, the event is top quality, right?
Absolutely, and I think we're going to have a great fights, man. All the fights are really equally matched, and I know that everybody is going to want to perform and put a good show for everybody.
So that's kind of the undercard, but then you get to the main card, and guys, there's the main card is just filled with spectacular fights, and we still are looking for one more match on this that we're going to confirm real soon. But just starting off the night in the main card, we got Lizette versus Zeta. They've fought before. Tell us about that.
Actually, that was a few months ago with the provincials, the BC Muay Thai, and Sena is the provincial champion, right?
Wow.
And was a really, really good fight that they did. and I know like Lisette is getting ready, and I know like both know each other better, and
This is fight two.
yeah, this
Wow,
is like
nice.
like the rematch. Always the rematch can be like
better than the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then they know each other better. They come with a different game. Both come with a different game. It's just that I know Lisette is working really hard. Like she's fighting at home, right? Like she won it.
Hometown
And I
kid,
think
yeah.
I think both are going to display awesome Muay Thai.
Amazing.
Do you know how long Lisette has been training and competing in Muay Thai? Like she is all in as well. Like I was impressed with her professionalism. Like when I was taking her shots, like oh man, she's strong.
Oh man, like she go with the guys, and like she's pretty tough. And not only that, I really respect her because like she have 5 kids, still doing it, like right, like she have the support of the husband and their family. The girls are with her all the time at the gym, and it's amazing see that like the story behind the athlete, and that's what we want to give you guys. They understand is
5 kids.
5
That's
kids.
Crazy.
5
I have
kids.
1 kid.
I will don't say. I will don't.
Kids, and I
It's a
traveling
mess.
with my life.
Yeah.
5 kids
and-
that she's doing a fight.
I know, and then
It's
the
crazy.
people complain like, "Oh, I cannot do it because I don't have the time." I mean, if you
Like,
have
wow.
5 kids,
You got
like,
5 kids, you have
and,
no time.
and not only that, like the
Yeah.
discipline that you
Yes.
have to have for
yeah.
this type of, because we take it really seriously. Because I always say the my students, like if you're going to participate, you represent yourself, you represent the club, and you represent your coach and
the sport.
Exactly, and you're a sport, right? And you wanna and everybody is doing above and beyond what's supposed to do. These kids like everybody is like training like a professional, right? They are preparing for this fight.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys give a medal to Lisette in the other event, or was another?
That's correct. It's because we was in an event last year, and in some events they don't give them anything. They don't give a medal, or only give a medal to the first place. But in this event, literally was no medals. And then, like I think as an athlete, like as I was a fighter, right? And then as an athlete, you have to have something that is there, right?
Physical,
like you
reward,
earn it,
yeah.
right? Like, and then me and Jordan and I decide that we go in the award with one of VIP medals in the event. Just they say like you earn it. She win, she win her fight, unanimous decision, and she don't get a medal. And this is amateur, right? Like that's important. Like
You gotta get something.
you have to get something.
You're working
right?
so hard. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, that's another thing that VIP is doing differently, right?
Yeah. First, everybody's getting either first or second place medal. We're investing in a big title belt, which we're going to talk about real shortly here about Max and Sam fighting for the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, and our medals are beautiful. Something to take home and say, man, I was at that event. This is what I did. It was one of my fights. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that was like the medals are so nice, man. I wish I can have one of those. Like, to be honest.
Just put one in your
Yeah, I was like, I'd say that I win. That'd be my
exactly.
best win ever.
Yeah, so moving on with the card here, we got Dawson versus Ryder, right? This is one of those fights that I'm. It's going to be like don't blink, right? These guys are small and fast, blue belts, young, hungry guys that are really building a name for themselves in the jiu-jitsu community. I know Dawson trains over there at Preda under Hayden Francis, really good nogi. And Ryder's over at RDC, same thing. Very high level nogi over there at RDC. And these two are just gonna go for it the minute it starts. So this is one of those fights where I'm super pumped it's on the main card because they're up and coming. They're so fast. It's quick. It's like it's gonna happen fast. It's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing.
And they have a lot of personality. They were so friendly, but once I start like asking them for those shots, like they are professionals. They are pros. Like they have a lot of energy. Like you can say like they are young.
Yeah,
right?
they're ready to go.
Yeah, you
yeah.
can tell that from
Both
them.
of them. As soon as I offered, I said, "Hey, I remember, I reached out to Dawson, reached out to Ryder, and I talked to them about, the match with each other. It was yes right away. Absolutely, let's go. I want to get on this card.
That's another thing. Like the athletes from the Okanagan Fight Night, one from the new athletes that are joining on the Okanagan Fight Night 2, they appreciate, they value the opportunity to be in this event. Like I can totally say it. They know the opportunity that this could give them as well. Like,
I feel so bad because I'm still constantly getting emails, messages, Instagram,
I know.
Facebook. Yeah, it's like people want on the card. And this might be a good opportunity to say, guys, if you want on the card, a very simple way, get onto our email list, which is, you can do it on
VIP and the
Victory
website.
International
Yep.
Promotion.com, and just fill out your information, guys. And we're pairing guys from there, and then just be on top of it. When we announce our next event, be hungry. Bug me, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people that are reaching out that it's very hard. The ones that are super keen and bugging me all the time about getting on the card, those are the guys that I'm focusing on. We got a long list.
Yeah.
Like, get at me, guys.
Yeah.
So, Dawson Ryder, that's going to be good. We got Skylar. So, Skylar, PTT Kelowna, is fighting Caden.
Yeah.
And Caden, where's Caden from? Is that
He's
one?
from Sam is his coach.
Max is his
sorry.
coach. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
From
So,
Abbotsford.
okay.
Yeah, for Abbotsford.
From Abbotsford.
And
So, Bird's martial arts.
he's a tough kid, man. He's
Yeah.
a tough kid. It's
Wow.
going to be a good fight. Like I know they both are going to give everything. And then both just came from a loss for their last event, and
so
then
they're hungry
both
for
are
a win.
hungry, right?
Wow.
Both are super hungry, and I know they're going to put a show for
Well,
us.
I know if he's from Max's gym, he's
Oh
one
yeah,
coach.
man! Like
I got some cool history with Max that I'm going to talk about when we talk about Max. But I know Max is a phenomenal coach.
oh man, and it's been
Amazing
awesome
coach.
working with
Easy to
him.
work
like
with.
yeah. Like they never have any issue. Like super easy and like nothing bad to say about those guys. And super excited they have these guys again for second time and our first Okanagan event, Kelowna event, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I already can tell the level of these athletes coming from Max gym. Like I remember the athletes that they came from Okanagan Fight Night 1.
I
So,
know,
amazing.
I
I'm
know.
excited already.
And you know what? That's what we're going to keep seeing. And that's the point about the VIP. Like all the athletes have the opportunity to get the experience. That means it's only going to be better fights, right?
Yeah.
More experience, better fights.
Absolutely.
And I know like and everybody is like super excited to come to Kelowna. I think that's going to be a key.
Summertime in Kelowna.
Man, like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
going
Why
to
would you
be
come?
A few steps from the lake.
yeah.
Literally, you can leave and go right to the beach.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
and
amazing.
then or finish the event, go to a restaurant, a pub, or whatever. It's like, or just walking downtown is beautiful up here.
Yeah, let's get to the next one. We got Dustin Little. And I got to say, man, Dustin Little versus Dylan. I don't know a lot about Dylan. I know we're flying him in from Toronto for
Yeah,
the fight.
yeah.
I know he's a tough guy.
Yeah, he just win his last fight too.
Did he? Yeah. So really tough guy that Dustin's facing here. But just to give a huge shout out to Dustin, this guy is all about martial arts, man. If you follow this guy on Instagram, on Facebook, like, man, he's inspiring. He's motivating. He talks a lot about his journey through sobriety,
His
which is
story,
like
yeah,
his
like,
story's
his story is
incredible.
crazy, yeah.
Like it's amazing. He's unbelievably tough. He wants to fight. He wants to compete. He wants to be the best version of himself. And I got to be honest, guys, when I follow him and I see his stuff, and I'm like, I get up, I look at my phone for a second. There he is running at 4 a.m. I'm like, man, I'm
he's so
lazy,
lean.
man. I gotta
feel
get after it.
I feel behind already.
I feel way behind.
Super
Right?
inspiring. Yeah.
So and tough, man, tough as nails. I know, he ended up losing the title fight to Sam, but that was a war, man.
Man,
Back and forth,
that was
decision.
amazing fight.
Wow.
That was amazing.
What a crazy
That's
fight.
the first time I see Sam fight, and was like both guys like
Just
put
leaving it on the
everything
table.
and
Yeah.
put a show. Like literally, we are watching a pro fight. Like was like watching a pro fight, right?
That's what I'm saying,
The
like,
talent, the
level of the athletes.
Yeah, and you know, I know Dustin for a long time, and I remember the first time he came to the club, and I've been working with Dustin for a long time, and how much he's been improving, and he was no fighting for his own journey, and then one day he approached and it's like, I'm ready to go. We went to Brazil to fight in Brazil. He win a silver medal with no fighting for 7 years. Like I think he used to fight MMA. He did 3 MMA fights. And then after that, like I want to go.
7 years
Let's go
break.
to Brazil. 7 years.
Then
Go to Brazil.
Yeah.
Toughest guys that he fight there. Like one of the guys that he ended up fighting in the final have like 20 fights. They told us they was pro. And then Dustin did great. And I know like he's hungry, right?
Yeah.
He's hungry for this. And I know.
Well, that's part of this game, man, is
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
You can't fight, this year and then wait 3 years and fight the next year.
Yeah.
It's like you're always starting over. So it's like
Absolutely.
we need these events.
Yeah.
We got to put these events
Yeah.
on for these guys and multiple events
Yeah.
every year
Yeah.
so that the activity's there. We're going to
Yeah.
have better fights with activity.
Yeah.
At this level, you cannot wait for a year. Like
Yeah.
you need to be
On it.
like, on it.
And
Like,
more
you cannot
because
wait.
everybody's getting better, right? Everybody's getting better. Like participate in these events and get the experience. That's what, because in your first event, just to control the adrenaline, is hard, man. That's like in my experience. I've been coaching for 30 years and coaching a lot of athletes and all over the world. And that's the most difficult part. Just control your emotions for the first fight. And I always say to the guys, like, you go in the field you're going to want to quit, because it's not for everybody.
It's crazy.
It's pretty like they say, like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody have a plan till they get punched in the face, right?
Yes, sir. It's so true.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, it's true, right? And then, but no, I think the level of the talent that we have in this card, man, we
Crazy.
can know. Hope for better. We have an amazing, your guys in jiu-jitsu, they're going to be amazing
I
fighters.
can't wait to announce the co-main.
I know.
It's going to be great. And we'll talk about that. We got Christian Simmerling versus Devin, right? So Devin's been training in Kelowna. He's actually a student up north in Edmonton. He trains with Huthafa Penny out of his school, and he's fighting Christian. I've actually fought Christian 3 or 4 times in jiu-jitsu as well. Tough guy, owns Rocky Mountain, good friend of mine, right? Me and Christian are really good friends. I just love the way he is, the way his ideology of jiu-jitsu is amazing, and just a tough competitor. I mean, this guy will fight anyone, anywhere, and in fact, he does. Every single month I'm seeing this guy in a super fight. I'm seeing him, in a tournament somewhere. He was training under JR Academy in Calgary for many years. And then he moved to the States, was training with, and he can probably tell some of this story in his promo video, but, he was training with, the tops of the world guys. Like he was training, with Gordon Ryan and those guys and that whole team down south for a lot of years, right? So this guy has tons of experience. He's now coaching and raising up a bunch of, amazing athletes. And this fight should be amazing. Devin's guard, I train with Devin on a weekly basis and he's very tough. His guard's insane. His jiu-jitsu's insane. This is a no-gi match, so there's going to be lots of leg lock, foot lock attempts. So, just this fight's going to deliver for sure, and I'm super excited to have it in the co-main event. And then, of course, we get to the main event, right?
Yeah.
This fight, what can I say about Max just before I pass this on to you guys? Max, I started PTT in Abbotsford with Max and another gentleman that was running the jiu-jitsu, and we built that school in a very short period of time before COVID to a lot of students, right? But we ended up ultimately decided to shut it down. It was me, Max, and a guy named Sean Owen, who's an amazing jiu-jitsu coach too. And we opened PTT in Abbotsford, and it just blew up, right? These guys were coaching. I was just giving some advice on the business side, and it was doing amazing. And then COVID hit, and obviously we all kind of went our separate ways. Max ended up opening his own school, doing a lot of the Muay Thai, and he's had huge success doing that and fighting and competing. And then Sean went his separate way. I did my thing. But man, Max, what a beast! What a beast! I've followed a couple of his fights recently. This guy will come in and he just throws. I think he fought Dustin Little recently. Who else? I mean, Skylar. I think he fought Skylar recently.
Joshua. I've been seeing Max and many fights, and every time he just get better. And
he's very long and lanky,
And they have a super powerful switch kick.
Yeah.
Like super powerful switch kick, and then obviously Max, his coach is Jason Fenton for BC Muay Thai, one of the BC Muay Thai.
Well, he's been around forever.
I know Jason. The first time I came from Mexico to fight in Calgary, I ended up, suppose I was going to fight Jason, but I don't know for what reason I ended up fighting somebody else. But I know Jason Fenton for a long time, and they have amazing Muay Thai, and that's obviously Max too,
Max,
representing, right? And
then Sam's over at Genesis, right? Sam's at Genesis, which is where Sean Paul Owen, who I built the school with Max, is now the head instructor at Genesis.
That's crazy.
So it's kind of crazy, right? How the martial arts just kind of
it's a nice community.
It's intertwined, right?
Oh, but you are everywhere.
Exactly.
Jordan is everywhere, schools everywhere. That's awesome, man.
It's good. It's good. And Sam, I mean, dude. What do we say about Sam? Toughest guy around.
Super
toughest
strong,
nails.
super dedicated. He has gone to Thailand to train. I have seen some videos of him in other competitions, and it's crazy.
And so humble. Both.
One of the nicest guys.
You see them and you never expect it. But you know what? That's in my experience in martial art. That's what we see. The guys that are quiet, that don't say nothing, those are the guys that know. The guys that are walking tough and the door is too small for me, those are the guys that don't know anything, right? And then these are the perfect guys that we have for the main event. Sam defending the title. Man, that's going to be our first
title defense.
Title defense. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
It's gonna be so good. So guys, that's basically what we got for you guys. We're so excited to have this. We're looking at maybe doing a little judo demonstration to give a different art into there. I know we're doing a couple, maybe one or two little sparring matches or exhibition matches in different arts. So we've got lots planned for you guys. Tickets are going on sale April 1st, not February. April 1st. Okay, guys, April 1st. Tickets on sale. I believe personally these are going to go fast. They're going to be priced to move, which is very important. And don't wait, guys. Find out the time and be ready to buy your tickets.
Yeah. And and support, right? Support the sport. We are investing a lot of time and effort to bring this to the Okanagan, and we need the support. Come and watch an amazing fights.
Share the videos, guys. Share the videos. Comment, tag some people. That goes a long way. That doesn't go unnoticed, right? We're looking to build this thing up, and we need the community to help us. So, if you're watching us, you're seeing our stories, you're thinking, man, what these guys are doing are pretty cool. Man, a share, and a comment goes a long way for us when we're starting this thing. Tag somebody who loves martial arts, and let's get them involved.
Yeah, and big thank you to you, Juan, and Valiente for everything. We are super happy. Everybody's talking about it, and that's what we want to bring. We want to bring quality, and I think you are deliver that, and we're super excited to work with you.
Oh man, it's a fantastic opportunity. I appreciate it. It's an honor, and VIP is bringing the best athletes around Canada. So it is a huge opportunity for people from the Okanagan area to join this event, to learn about the martial arts worlds. Like, as you mentioned, it's a humble sport that teach a lot of the human nature. And that's what I've been learning from you guys. So I'm super excited for this second event. And April 1st,
April 1st.
Let's
people
go.
is gonna be able to join, and we've been preparing a lot of good content, a
Stay
lot of
tuned.
good promos. We have kids, we have all the names that we have here been mentioning in this podcast. We are creating like this kind of art, this kind of pictures and promo to spread the word, right?
Lots coming out between now and April 1st. So definitely, guys, get ready. It's going to be
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thanks a lot, guys.
So
Perfect.
cool.
Amazing.
That was good.
That was it.
Yeah.